In this chapter, we're going to cover how to convert text to symbols. And this is called tokenization, and we're going to do it in NLTK and spaCy, which are two libraries for Python. So we're first going to cover splitting a document into sentences. So a document is just some body of text, and the first step towards getting it into symbols, which is little pieces of text that a computer can understand, is to split it into sentences. And we're going to talk about why this is hard, and we'll give an introduction to spacing NLTK. Then we'll talk about splitting sentences into tokens in the next video, and we'll talk about why this is hard, and we'll give a demonstration also in spacing NLTK. And then in the third video of this chapter, we'll talk about filtering out stop words. And stop words are little words like and the that don't add a lot of content. Splitting a document into sentences. Both the question mark and the exclamation point are pretty reliable indicators of a sentence boundary, but a period can appear just about anywhere. So for examples, we have PhD, Mr., and in number 72.35. So one way to do this is to find little regular expressions, which are little patterns, for when a period indicates the end of a sentence and when it doesn't. For example, you could have the PH on one side of the period and the D on the other. We can also employ a binary classifier at potential sentence boundaries to determine whether they are in fact sentence boundaries. Luckily, we don't have to worry about that. We can just use NLTK and spaCy. So let's go take a look at both of those now. So first is NLTK, the Natural Language Toolkit. It's a popular Python NLP library. So you can see the install here. It's your typical pip install. And there's also a very good definitive source on NLTK, which is right here, the NLTK book. This book is an online resource that takes you through both learning NLTK and natural language processing. And it takes you through the different parts, like processing raw text. And you see here it shows you the code and what to do. It's a very good resource. I highly recommend it. So let's go back now to our code. So what we're going to do, recall, is to split a document into sentences. Now I showed you how to install NLTK on that link. So if it's installed correctly, you can just hit run here and it will import the first time. It takes a moment. You'll also need to do this nltk.download all, which downloads the corpuses and a lot of different trained models. You don't have to download all, but the easiest thing is just to do this download all. Otherwise, it takes you through this menu and you almost never can get all the things you want. So just do this download all, but you do have to wait when you run it. Okay, but I've already done that, so let's go on to the text. So we have some document here. Mr. Smith loves tacos. He has a PhD in tautology. We run that to get the text loaded there. So what we're going to do now is tokenize it into sentences. So we have tokenized sentences equals nltk.sentTokenized text. It's pretty easy, and this is going to return a list of sentences. And so for each sentence, we're just going to print it off. Let's take a look at that. So the first sentence, Mr. Smith loves tacos. The second sentence, he has a PhD in tautology. So that worked out just fine. Now we're going to look at an alternative, spaCy. So spaCy is a newish Python NLP library with great features. You can see how to install spaCy here. Install spaCy, pip install. And the best resource is the documentation, although I've found the documentation to be a little hard to get started with, so it's good that we're going to go through some examples in this course. We get down here, and what we do on this box is from spaCy.en, which is English, it's only available in English and German. From spaCy.en, import English, parser English. And so this first time it takes a moment to run, it's loading up the spaCy parser. In this final box, what we see is we're going to call the parser with the text from above. We're going to get something called tokens, and we can iterate over tokens.sense, which is all of the sentences, and it's going to print out each one just like it did before. Note that if you are in Python 2, text needs to be converted to Unicode for spaCy to process it, like we saw in a previous lesson. So let's run this here, and there'll be a little bit of a surprise. It makes a mistake. So Mr. Smith loves tacos, that's just fine. The next sentence is he is a PH, and the final sentence is D in tautology. So what happens is that spaCy doesn't know that PhD is one thing. I actually opened a ticket on GitHub for this, and he provided a fix that we'll see in the next video.